Why do some people stand at the edge of their lives and leap into transformation, while others retreat, time and time again, into the comfort of what they know, even if it hurts? Why do some rise from the ashes of their own failures and rebuild, stronger, clearer, more disciplined, while others circle endlessly in the orbit of their past selves, clinging to excuses, promising tomorrow, but never delivering? It's not because one group wants it more, not because they were born stronger or braver or luckier. No, it's because those who change have discovered a truth buried deep beneath the surface of motivation, willpower, and good intentions, a truth that most people miss entirely. This video is your invitation into that truth, a formula, a code, drawn not from guesswork or fluffy inspiration, but from science. From the sharp, precise insights of two of the most powerful books ever written on the mechanics of change, Atomic Habits by James Clear and The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. These works pull back the curtain on the human mind. They reveal that real change is never about setting bigger goals or shouting louder affirmations. It's about designing better systems. Systems that run beneath the surface of your awareness, shaping you, carrying you, or crushing you. You see, most people are trapped in the illusion of change. They believe the future will be different because they want it to be. They believe that if they just muster enough willpower, enough excitement, enough New Year's energy, they will finally rewrite the patterns that define them. But let me ask you, how many times have you felt that surge of motivation only to watch it evaporate under the weight of daily life? As James Clear says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And this cuts deep. It means that no matter how passionate you are today, if your system is broken, you will eventually fall. If your environment pulls you toward distraction, if your routines reinforce weakness, if your habits are designed by accident instead of intention, then you are at the mercy of forces you can't even see. Charles Duhigg's The Power of Habit uncovers the invisible architecture of our behavior. He explains the habit loop, a trigger, a routine, a reward. This loop runs like a program in the reptilian brain, the part of you that doesn't reason, doesn't negotiate, doesn't care about your dreams. It only obeys patterns. The genius lies in realizing that you can reprogram these loops. You can hijack your brain's automatic responses and rewrite the script. Think about it. Why does someone with the best intentions, someone who swears they'll start fresh in January, collapse by February? Not because they lack desire, but because desire is not what sustains change. It's the system that carries you when desire fades. It's the small, repeatable actions, the invisible victories that stack into something powerful. Imagine a person trying to stop procrastinating. The trigger might be stress or overwhelm, the routine, scrolling through social media, numbing the discomfort. The reward, a temporary escape from the pressure. Duhigg teaches us that if we can isolate the trigger and substitute the routine while keeping the reward, we can slowly, methodically, reshape behavior. James Clear sharpens this idea further. He reveals that the most transformative power lies not in massive overhauls, but in tiny shifts. A mere 1% improvement each day compounds into staggering results over time. It's not about running a marathon tomorrow. It's about lacing up your shoes today. Leave a comment below and right now, Ham, and tell me, have you ever chased a big goal only to burn out because the daily system wasn't there? What's one small thing you now realize you need to redesign in your life? Let's turn this into a conversation. Because here's the truth. Real change is not about wanting more. It's about learning to program your brain, to hijack the unconscious patterns, and to redesign your environment so it pulls you toward the person you want to become. Which brings us to the heart of this transformation. 4 universal pillars distilled from the wisdom of both books. 4 anchors you must drive deep into your life if you want lasting change. First, self-awareness. You cannot change what you do not see. You must become a detective in your own life, studying your triggers, observing your reactions, noticing the hidden rewards that reinforce even your worst habits. Duhigg's work teaches us that until you understand why you reach for the phone, the drink, the distraction, you will remain its prisoner. Second, clear systems. Change is not a vague intention, it's a precise mechanism. From Clear's Atomic Habits, we learn the immense power of micro-changes, systems that are so small, so manageable, that failure becomes almost impossible. A system that demands only 5 minutes a day will beat a goal that demands an hour. Every time. Third, proper environment. This is the secret weapon most people overlook. Your environment shapes you more than you shape it. Clear warns us that if you leave the wrong cues in place, the junk food on the counter, the TV remote within reach, the notifications turned on, you are fighting a losing battle. But when you make good habits obvious and bad habits invisible, you create a world that works for you, not against you. Fourth, continuous feedback. Progress is not a one-time declaration. It's an ongoing dialogue between you and your actions. Both Clear and Duhigg emphasize the power of tracking, of visual progress, of small markers that remind you, you are moving forward. A calendar, a journal, a daily check-in, these simple tools become the mirrors that keep you honest, the pulse checks that keep change alive. Picture again the person battling procrastination. They understand the trigger, stress. They build a system, 10 focused minutes. They reshape the environment, silence the phone, clear the desk. And they track the progress, a mark on the calendar, a note of completion. Each small victory fuels the next. Each act rewires the brain. Each day, they become someone new. Now let's move deeper. Transformation is not an event. It is a revolution of identity. Think of it like this. Every small habit, every tiny action is a vote for the kind of person you want to become. James Clear teaches this beautifully. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. This means that the core of change is not just about achieving goals, it's about becoming. You don't just want to run, you want to become a runner. You don't just want to write, you want to become a writer. You don't just want to meditate, you want to become someone who lives with presence and peace. This shift from outcome-based thinking to identity-based habits is where the magic happens. When you act in alignment with the identity you desire, the habit reinforces itself. Each time you sit down to write, even for 5 minutes, you're casting a vote. I am a writer. Each time you go for that short walk, you're casting a vote. I am someone who cares for my health. But here's the trap. Most people set goals that are so big, they never build the identity underneath. They want the outcome, but they skip the system. They aim for the summit, but they never train their legs for the climb. That's why the books we're drawing from, Atomic Habits by James Clear and The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, are not books about motivation. They are books about engineering your life. They teach you how to build the scaffolding that supports the person you wish to become. Now let me ask you something. Right now, wherever you are, what is the identity you are working toward? Not the goal, not the dream, not the fantasy. Who do you want to be? Because the moment you answer that question, you can begin to reverse engineer the habits that will make it real. And the most powerful part, you don't need to start with giant leaps. You start with micro habits, tiny actions that feel so effortless, they almost feel ridiculous. Want to build a reading habit? Read 1 page. Want to start exercising? Do 1 push-up. Want to meditate? Take 1 deep intentional breath. Clear calls this the 2-minute rule. Any habit should be scaled down to a version that takes 2 minutes or less to complete. Because once you're in motion, staying in motion becomes easier. Once you've started, momentum carries you further. Duhigg's research adds another layer. By focusing on keystone habits, those habits that naturally trigger positive ripple effects, you can amplify your results. For example, exercising regularly often improves diet, sleep, and mood without conscious effort. Tracking expenses can naturally lead to better budgeting and financial discipline. So here's your challenge. Right now, grab a notebook or open the Notes app on your phone. Write this down. Today, I will start with something so small that it will be impossible for me to fail. That's not just a motivational quote. That's the blueprint. That's how you break inertia. That's how you plant the seed of identity change. If you're feeling this message, if something inside you is stirring, let me know in the comments. Have you ever felt stuck, knowing the life you wanted was possible, but the path to it seemed too overwhelming, too distant? Share your story. Tell me what identity you're ready to claim starting today. Because here's the deepest truth of all. You are not fixed. You are not chained to who you were yesterday. You are, in every moment, becoming. And the difference between those who transform and those who stay the same is not talent. It's not fate. It's not luck. It's system. It's awareness. It's environment. It's feedback. It's the deliberate, unshakable commitment to shape the world around you so that it shapes you back. And yes, it's hard. Yes, it takes discipline. But remember, discipline is not punishment. Discipline is the highest form of self-respect. Discipline says, I am worth the effort. Every time you make the harder, better choice, you're proving to yourself that you can trust you. Every time you show up, even imperfectly, you are rewriting the story of who you are. On the other hand, every time you make a promise to yourself and don't keep it, you're building the habit of failure. It's like setting an alarm for 7 a.m. and when it goes off, choosing failure by turning it off without getting up. Small choices shape big stories. And when you look back, after weeks, months, years of small, consistent action, you will stand on a mountain you built with your own hands. And here we arrive at the summit of the message. Let this truth settle into your bones. The life you dream of is not waiting on some far-off horizon, dangling like a prize just out of reach. It is being sculpted right now by the choices you make in the quiet, ordinary moments when no one is watching. Transformation is not a lightning strike. It is erosion, it is layering. It is the slow carving of stone by water. It's the cup of water you drink instead of the soda, the morning walk you take instead of hitting snooze, the hour spent on your craft instead of scrolling through a glowing screen. James Clear and Charles Duhigg remind us again and again that greatness is not the result of rare brilliance or sudden inspiration. It is the natural outcome of systems wisely designed and relentlessly followed. You want to change your life? Then change the architecture of your days. Build the scaffolding so strong, so tailored to your values and dreams that you cannot help but rise. Imagine your environment right now. Is it shaping you into the person you want to be? Are your surroundings, your routines, your triggers and rewards aligned with your higher self? Or do they chain you to the habits you claim you want to break? Here's the liberating truth. You are not just the actor in your life. You are also the architect. You hold the pen, the chisel, the blueprint. You can redesign, you can tear down and rebuild. But here's where most people falter. They try to change everything at once. They overhaul their diet, their schedule, their relationships, their mindset, all in one heroic push. And when the weight becomes too much, they collapse. Not because they are weak, but because the system they tried to carry was unsustainable. Clear's wisdom teaches us, master the art of starting small. Want to eat healthier? Don't obsess over a perfect diet. Start by adding one vegetable to one meal. Want to exercise? Forget the hour-long gym session. Commit to 5 minutes of stretching. Want to save money? Skip one unnecessary purchase today. Each small act is a domino, tipping the next, building momentum. You are not aiming for radical change overnight. You are aiming for alignment, for the steady, undeniable shift toward a life that reflects your deepest values. And feedback. Oh, the power of feedback. A journal, a habit tracker, a simple checklist. These are not trivial tools. They are your mirror. They show you where you are drifting, where you are strong, where you are slipping. Without feedback, you are blind. With feedback, you are a craftsman, refining, improving, adjusting. Let's make this real. Right now, leave a comment below. What is one nonsense, one distraction, one weight you will stop carrying today? What's one small thing you will no longer let steal your time, your focus, your energy? Declare it, claim it, make it real. Because words have power. Declarations create accountability. And you, yes, you are more powerful than you have allowed yourself to believe. Understand this. You are always becoming. Whether you act or don't act, whether you choose or drift, whether you rise or settle, you are shaping your future self. So will you shape that self with intention, with design, with the clarity offered by the science of habits? Or will you let the invisible forces of old routines and accidental systems carry you wherever they wish? You hold the power, not someday, not when you feel ready, now. Because the people who transform their lives are not waiting for perfect conditions. They are not waiting for the stars to align. They are not waiting for more motivation, more energy, more certainty. They start where they are with what they have right now. They take one small step today. They trust the system, not the mood. They build the identity, not just chase the outcome. They master the environment, not just fight the temptation. And over time, they become something rare, something radiant, something that people look at and say, how did they do it? But you will know the answer. You will know it was not magic, it was habit, it was science. It was 1,000 small victories stacked until they became a new life. So here is the closing invitation. Look around you, look within you. Decide what no longer belongs. Decide what tiny action you can take today to vote for the person you want to become. Write it down, mark it, start. Because the most beautiful truth of all is this: you are not stuck. You are not doomed to repeat. You are free, gloriously, terrifyingly free to reinvent. Let this be the day you stop waiting. Let this be the day you rise quietly, deliberately, powerfully into the life you were always meant to live. I hope you feel this, not just as a thought, but as a fire. I hope you carry it forward, not as a passing idea, but as a living practice. And I hope you remember, small steps, taken with devotion, shape destinies. And now, if this woke something up inside you, if it reminded you of who you are and what you're truly capable of, then don't keep it to yourself. There's someone out there right now still living in silence, still drowning in excuses, still waiting for permission to rise. Share this with them. Be the reason they wake up too. And if you're tired of surface-level thinking, tired of the noise, the excuses, the sleepwalking through life, then take your seat. This isn't just a channel. It's a circle around the fire, a place for those who are done being average and ready to rise. Here, we don't just talk about growth, we burn for it. So take your seat at the fire, subscribe, not just to content, but to the mindset, the mission, the movement. Let them scroll, let them sleep. You build empires.